9-year-old boy discovered that if he was really quiet, he could sneak out of his bedroom at night, go down into the kitchen, and eat as much junk food as he wanted. One night in the summer that year, his family went out for this huge dinner at this amazing restaurant, and when they came back, they had all these leftovers. And the boy really wanted to eat the remainder of the sweet and sour pork. He was really excited about it. So everyone goes to bed, and he's really deliberate. He starts sneaking down the stairs, being ultra careful. He gets to the end of the stairs, hasn't made a sound. And that's when he freezes because he hears what sounds like a fork making a little clinking sound against the counter. And he thinks, my parents have got to be in there. And if they see me, I'm going to be totally busted. So I don't want them to see me. And so he begins to turn his head around the corner because he was obscured by the wall. And he pokes his head just far enough in to where he can see into the kitchen. And standing in the middle of the kitchen is this skinny man that he's never seen before, drinking milk directly from the carton with the fridge wide open. The kid holds back a scream, sneaks back up the stairs. When he finally gets upstairs, he runs into his parents' room and he tells them what's going on. The father runs downstairs, ready to confront whoever's there. There's no one there. There's not even a sign that anyone was there. So they look everywhere and they can't find anything. And so the parents don't believe him. And everybody goes back to bed, and that's that. The boy was very confident at what he saw. Although he did feel like, I guess I could have imagined it, but he started paying really close attention to everything in his house. In the mornings, he would go downstairs before everybody else and he would see if there was any sign of someone having been in the kitchen. He noticed at one point that the napkin holder had been moved to the wrong side of the counter. He also noticed one time there was a mug that was in the sink that no one had used the night before. And so he's thinking that someone is sneaking into our house. I don't know how, I don't know where, but I'm confident that it's still happening. But his parents didn't believe him. 3 months after the boy has seen this person in his kitchen, he's in his bedroom, he's just laying there, and he's looking up at the vent on his ceiling, an air conditioning vent. And as he's looking at it, he sees a pair of eyes go over the vent, looking down at him. And they blink, and he can tell it's eyes looking at him. It takes him a second to process it, but he freaks, runs out of his room, runs to his parents' room, and he can barely talk. He's like, there's someone in the vent. The parents run into his room, they check crawl spaces, the attic, they're shining a light into the vent. They can't find anything. And so once again, it turns into, you're making this up, you have an overactive imagination, there's nothing going on in this house. But a week goes by, and their house started to smell really bad. And the majority of the stink was coming from that vent in the boy's room. And even worse, there were maggots falling out of that vent. So they got the air conditioning people over to have a look, and they were totally confident that what they were going to find is a dead animal up inside the vent. But that's not what they find. They find a dead man who had been living in their ceiling. There was literally a cot that had been set up inside of their ceiling.